Hey everyone, this is Tom from MonTac here doing the Weekly MonTac Matchup for the 13th of May 2022, and joining me we have got former title contender. We've got Shadow Galaxy Wolf rank 16. How are you doing, madame, and how has your week been?
It's been alright. Definitely got some work to do though.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's been a great week so far, and it's going to be a great weekend of matchups because obviously, first up, we would have Darmakos and Mini Smoke, but as you're not aware of them as much, we'll be skipping through, but that is sure to be a great match of Bandits versus Angels, potentially. Really looking forward to it, or a Bandit versus Terosian matchup, potentially, on what, depending on what Mini Smoke uses. Your matchup's up next, and we've got you taking on a newcomer in Dandy Knuckles, obviously expected to use Angels. You yourself are going to be having a bit of a new deck. How are you feeling about this matchup, and are you confident you can, obviously a lot of people have been predicting your matches to be draws recently.
Yeah.
How confident are you that you can actually finish this matchup?
Honestly, like you have previously mentioned about the new deck, I believe that with this new deck I have the potential to win this, or like what everyone's saying, it's a draw, but I'm pretty confident.
Oh, nice. Okay. Does this match make extra time, or do you intend to finish it before then?
It all just depends on how things play out. I don't necessarily say I want to aim for extra time, but it just all comes to last moment.
Fair enough. Alright, the next matchup we're going to have is Crimson Deceit. Obviously, this is going to be the third ever match. They've never lost, and they're taking on two-time former champion Badger, who has recently started to get right back into the competition. Obviously, Badger expected to use Sky Soldiers as always. You actually got to play him last week. And then Crimson Deceit expected to use Vigilantes based on their previous games. It's quite an interesting matchup regarding how both decks have decent specialty removal. What are your thoughts?
Alright, I would like to apologise to Crimson in advance, but I have to go with Charging Badger. Just because my turn was ripped from me when the winnings did come, so if Charging Badger gets to the top, then thanks Charging Badger for the win.
Alright, that should be quite interesting. Obviously that is the undercard done. Let's move on to the main card, and right off the bat, we have got Tailsweet taking on Nyx, who's making their debut. Obviously, they're expected to probably use some sort of either Angels or Bandits, and Tailsweet, of course, using those Mutateds. What are your thoughts on this matchup? It's a bit of an interesting matchup to see there, because you've got a little bit of a control deck in Tailsweet, taking on a potentially very aggressive Angel or Bandit player. How do you think that stacks up?
See, like what's been said, Tailsweet's versing a newcomer. And honestly, I'd have to go experience over this. So I believe that Tailsweet has played long enough that Tailsweet will recognize ways to win, no matter what the situation is. And well, it is it's Nyx's first game. Like, honestly, it's a 50-50 chance they're either going to have beginner's luck or won't. But I believe that with Tailsweet, they've got what it takes to be able to win this.
Okay, nice. Alright. Well, let's move on to the next match in the main card. Obviously, the first matchup for Dan B, but they're going to be taking on a former champion in Apocalyptic, obviously themselves being a former champion as well. Steel Edge expected from Daniel, and Apocalyptic probably going to bring some sort of Eclipse Trooper nonsense, or Rogue Dragons, both of which are decks Apocalyptic has favoured in the past. How do you think Steel Edge can handle Eclipse Troopers, and do you think there's a way that Apocalyptic can really circumvent those Axe Head creatures?
Honestly, Dan's just on a roll. I believe that Dan might actually be able to take this. Although I feel like it will end up being a bit of an aggressive game at the end. It's probably going to come to overtime, and it's going to come to who savors what and who still has what at the end.
So obviously this is going to be outside the top 5, which means draws can happen. Do you think this will be going to a draw, or who do you think would take it in the other situation?
Either Dan will take it or it'll end in a draw. I have to say, I'm probably going to lead more towards a draw here, but I believe that there is a possibility for Dan if they play their cards right.
Ooh, okay, so that means Apocalypse is going to be playing pretty defensively then, if it's either a draw or a loss, so that's going to be very interesting. They can't put too much out there because they'll get board wiped, so... Ooh, I think Dan's going to have an interesting match here. It'd be interesting if Apocalyptic can pull this out, though.
Yeah.
Alright, so the final match, obviously the main event, we're going to have former champion Doozy at rank 5, who have battled their way back quite impressively with a brutal finish of Squishy last week. Dan B obviously is now coming off. At this point, he might be coming off a win of Apocalyptic, or a draw, or a loss, as this will be the match happening after Apocalyptics. Obviously, Doozy expected to use that Lacuziol Elder deck with Eclipse Troopers, and Dan B using those Steel Edge. It's inside top 5, which means no draws. Do you think Doozy's learned from their previous experiences facing all these Steel Edge decks, or do you think Dan B is just going to run them over?
Honestly, I believe that Doozy has learned.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that, sadly, this might be a loss for Dan, and I think Doozy might take this one.
Ooh, interesting. What makes you think they've learned?
Just the fact that I've played Doozy a couple times, and I've known for a fact that Doozy is what I believe is Doozy is a fast learner. If they play one match with, like a couple matches with the same deck, eventually Doozy will find out a way around the deck.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely believe Doozy's got what it takes here.
Wow, interesting, because that would put Asia right back up in the top 4, and even passing Misfire especially. The winner of this is definitely going to be well positioned inside that top 5, and I definitely can't wait. Alrighty then, well that is obviously all 6 matchups. Thank you for coming on and giving your picks. Is there anything you'd like to say before we wrap up?
Good luck everyone, and have fun.
Alright, couldn't have said it better myself. Get ready, it's going to be a great weekend, and we are going to be approximately less than 3 weeks till the June tournament. Got to make that rank 12 or higher. I will see you later. This has been Tom. Like, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. Have a great day.